Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to talk about the actual cost for $5,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 57-year-old female. Now, first thing you need to understand is you can go directly to our website, and we've got these free quoters on just about every page. You just click the quoter, select the state that you live in, select the coverage amount, and then put your birthday and the rest of the info. And it will take you to a page that's going to show you the best insurance companies in the state and the lowest pricing. And then you can compare that to all those silly, ridiculous low prices that you see on TV and magazines that always end up being too good to be true. And you can actually get actual pricing and be a smart consumer. You can also call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456, and one of our agents can run those numbers for you as well. Now, the first thing you need to know as a 57-year-old female looking for $5,000 worth of insurance is that going to be enough for your final expense needs? Now, that depends if you're going to be cremated or buried. Now, if you're looking at a cremation, the average cost of cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. Now, that's if you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. If you're going to have a ceremony after the cremation, that's probably going to be around $3,500 to $4,500. So, if you've got $5,000 worth of coverage or you're looking to get $5,000, that's probably enough for right now. But you got to consider you're 57. You probably want to live to 67, maybe 77, maybe even 87, right? So we know that the cost will go up over time. So typically what we would recommend as a starting point is for that cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, maybe $5,000 to $7,000. And then if you're going to have that ceremony and that cremation, maybe $7,000 to $10,000. But what that ends up doing is giving you a little bit more than you need early on. And that way, if something, God forbid, happens sooner than you thought, there's a little extra money for final expenses, medical bills, stuff like that. And if you do live longer, there's enough money in there to help with the inflation. So we don't typically recommend people get, like $25,000, $30,000, $40,000, typically because most of the people we help are on a fixed or limited income. And it just, it can be a little challenging on their budget. So we always tell people, just get what you need for this final expenses. And if you need to start a little smaller, we can always add more coverage. That is no problem at all. Now, if you're going to be buried, the average cost of a burial in the United States right now is right around $10,000. So if you walk into pretty much any funeral home in the United States with the $10,000 check, chances are they're going to help you out with that. But I guarantee you one thing, it's not going to be a fancy funeral, for $10,000, but they should be able to get it done. And it's hard to imagine they would let a $10,000 check walk out that door and go down the road to their competition. But for the average cremation or average burial cost, being $10,000, most 57-year-old females would look at somewhere between maybe $10,000, $15,000, and $20,000. And again, if your budget's tight, start out with $10,000. We can always add more coverage later. But if you want to kind of just inflation-proof your plan, kind of for the rest of your life, maybe look at the $15,000, $20,000 area. Now, one thing we always recommend is getting first-day coverage or benefits. And that's the only thing we help people with at Funeral Funds of America. So what that means is that if you were to, unfortunately pass away the day after your policy went into force, so let's say we got the policy today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would pay out the entire amount, in this case, $5,000, which is ideal. You do not want a policy that's got a 2-year waiting period. And I'll go into that a little bit more. But a lot of people say, yeah, I want the first day coverage, but I'm not in the best of health and I'm not sure I can qualify. And to them, we say, hey, your health isn't your problem, it's our problem. We work with enough different insurance companies that they've all got different health questions. They all have different underwriting requirements. And what we do is we go out and find policies companies that will accept you for first day coverage or benefits. And we're great at what we do. 95% of the time, we're getting people first day coverage or benefits. So let us focus on that. You don't worry about that at all. Now, the only reason you wouldn't qualify for first day coverage is if you had some really significant health issues, like maybe a terminal illness that you were going to pass away in the next 12 months, or dementia or you are on dialysis or in a hospital or a nursing home. If that were the case, we'd probably refer you out to a different company. The other thing that seems to happen every week too is we get a phone call from somebody and they'll say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and they didn't have any insurance. We don't have any money. And their body's down at the funeral home and the funeral home director's not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so we can get a check to get to the funeral home director. And we have to let them know that there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to issue a policy on somebody who's already dead. And it's unfortunate that that person who died put you in that situation because they knew they were going to die. They probably knew they needed this insurance and they just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And then they done went and died. And what a terrible legacy to leave behind. The people in your world who you care about the most, you kind of treat the worst at the end of your life and make them pay for something that's not their responsibility. And then put them through all that suffering trying to figure it out. So don't be that person. Don't be that person. There's this insurance is affordable. You can do it. Be a grown up. So let's talk about 2-year waiting periods. So Colonial Penn is one of the, I guess, more well-known companies out there for 2-year waiting period. Their $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period. You may not know that, but it truly is. There's other waiting period companies out there too, like Mutual of Omaha, they're United of Omaha, let's see, AIG, Gerber, and there's a bunch of other companies. The only thing they sell is 2-year waiting periods. And some of these companies have done a really amazing job at convincing the American public that the only thing they'll qualify for is a 2-year waiting period, to which we go, nothing could be further from the truth because we help people with first aid coverage or benefits all day long. So as a 57-year-old female looking at that Colonial Penn TV commercial, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, for $9.95, I can probably get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. I bet I could even get $50,000 for $9.95. And then they talk to an agent at Colonial Penn, or they go and look at their website like we have here, and they find out that female age 57 for $9.95, 1 unit of coverage, see 1 unit of coverage over here, is $1,669. Now, $1,669 might cover the cost of a cremation. This policy's got a 2-year waiting period. It's not going to pay out in 2 years anyway. And just remember that that $1,669 is going to be worth less in 2 years than it is now. So, yeah, can you get a $9.95 coverage? Yeah, it's very little coverage. So we just caution people against falling for kind of teaser pricing out there that's really intended to get you to phone in. And we can't say for sure, but a lot of people would say that when you call on one of those companies where they've got teaser rates, that when you call them up, there's an awful good chance of an upsell that's going to happen. And I'm not saying that's the case, but it seems logical. Let's see, 5,000, so we've got to play around. I'm guessing 2.5 units, 3,000. Let's see what 3 units. That's the challenging part. A 57-year-old female can't get $5,000 on the nose because this per unit coverage kind of spits out this really goofy numbers, kind of wackadoodle numbers, 3, 3, 8. Let's try 3 units right there. Oh, there we go. So, yeah, you can't get $5,000 through the Colonial Penn, but you can get $5,007. That's silliness. Oh, my gosh. But it's $29. So let's do this. Let's go see what first aid coverage would cost here. So we've got $5,000, female, 57 years old. Let's click our get quotes right here. Go back up. Let's check again. Roughly $5,000 for $30. Look at here. I want to show you this again. So we've got the coverage options, $5,000, and that would be $15. So when you look at that, 15, yep. So the Colonial Penn is right about $15 more, almost 200% more expensive. And you've got to remember this, $200 more expensive for the rest of your life. They will allow you to overpay on this policy for the rest of your life. And they will force you to have that 2-year waiting period where you just got to hope you don't die in the first 2 years of any health or medical reason. So yeah, why would you pay more when you don't have to? That makes no sense. Let's look at this. $15 more a month is $180 more a year. And if you live just another 10 years up to age 67, that would have cost you an extra $1,800. If you live 20 years, $3,600 more on a $5,000 policy. Just overpaying that much. Why would you ever do that? It doesn't make much sense. Let's look at some other companies here. You'll be able to see all these different companies too on our quoter. Let's take a look here. Keep going. Oh, here's a company, Lincoln Heritage. They're a good company, I guess. I mean, they're more expensive. It is level first day coverage, but the reason they're more expensive is they've got a deal where when you pass away, they will call 2 or 3 funeral homes and supposedly try to get you the best pricing and maybe do a couple other things, but they charge more. So that's roughly $23 compared to $15. So right around $8 more. That's around $96 more a year. After 10 years, that'd be an extra $960, almost $1,000. So think about this. You know, is it worth paying an insurance company an extra $1,000 for them to make 2 or 3 phone calls, maybe do a couple other things? It might take an hour. You know, that most people would say that's a pretty good payday for the insurance company. It kind of favors the insurance company. What we actually recommend you do is take the lower pricing, like Trinity Life Insurance Company. We work with them. They're a great company, and we can help you get approved with them. And we have a free funeral and estate planning guide, and you just download that off our website, and you just fill it out. Who gets what goes where, and what you want done after you're gone. And everything's just spelled out super clearly. And you keep that with your insurance policy. And then when you pass away, your family members come and find that. And they will be protected both financially and emotionally. Financially, they're going to have the insurance policy. Emotionally, they're going to have the funeral and estate planning guide. And all they need to do is open it up and just follow your directions and execute everything per your wishes. And they will have such peace of mind knowing that they're doing everything exactly the way you wanted it done. And you've provided for everything that needs to be done funding-wise with the insurance policy. What a wonderful legacy to leave behind. What a wonderful gift of love. And it also saves you money. So pretty cool. So go to our website. Again, we've got these quoters on just about every page. You can call us at 888-862-9456. Talk with one of our agents. We've got a special quoter for our YouTube viewers. funeralfunds.com/YouTube. Get the best discounts and lowest rates there. We've got a special one there for you. And if you have an existing policy and you just want to price shop it to see if you got the best deal or add coverage to it, we can help you out with that. If you're looking for a brand new policy, we can help you out with that. If you just want help or information or have some questions, we can help you out with that. So we look forward to helping you with this and helping you get the coverage that you deserve. And until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.